weirdest DJ controllers for DJ Pro. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and I've been using DJ Pro and the iPad to DJ with for over 7 years. And in those years, I've came across some very interesting and weird controllers. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys a few. We're going to talk about their quirks and their features, and if it's still available, I will leave a link so you guys could pick one up for yourselves. This is going to be a fun video. The first one on the list is the Numark iDJ Live 1, the original. They came out with a second one, which is actually pretty good, but the first one was really weird. First of all, they made it like a weird rounded shape around, like an oval shape, which makes it look more like a toy than professional DJ gear. Like, I get it that it's an introductory beginner's controller, but they just really failed with the design and they made it look like a toy, and the knobs and buttons feel really plasticky and they stick. The jog wheels do work, you can scratch with it, but again, the quality wasn't there. It was a great try by Numark to create an affordable, easy to use DJ controller for DJ Pro, but they just made this one too weird. It's currently out of production. You could find them online or on eBay and stuff for cheap, but I would stay away and then just stick with, if you want to get that controller, get the second one. They made the new design really sleek and it actually looks like a professional DJ controller. Now the next one is again Numark, the iDJ Pro. This has made it on one of my lists as the best iPad DJ controllers. This thing was ridiculous. It was the first professional DJ controller for DJ Pro, and they went all out. It was developed alongside Algorithm, so it was specifically designed for the DJ Pro app, and it had a slot in it so you could slide in the iPad, which makes it kind of like the newer style standalone DJ controllers. So you got the screen in there, so it's one unit, and then you still are able to use the touchscreen on the iPad, and then you have all the controls that you could access through DJ Pro. One of the weirdest features of this DJ controller, which I haven't seen on any other DJ controller, and it was kind of annoying using this one, is the volume knobs. Instead of being sliders, they're like old school rotary knobs. I think this is better for hip hop, but it makes DJing with electronic EDM music a little more difficult. You have to use the crossfader instead of those. I owned this controller for several years. This was the controller that I used when I was doing DJ gigs at parties and stuff like that. So it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Unfortunately, it was designed for the older style iPads that still had the 13 pin charger. So when the new iPad came out that had the lightning port, like the phone does, I had to get an adapter so that I could still connect the newer style iPad. And then once the iPad switched over to USB-C, it would have required 3 different adapters and it didn't work anymore. That's why I got rid of this one, because I wasn't able to figure out how to make it work with the new iPad. I really hope that Numark makes another controller like this where the iPad goes in, because I think it was a really cool idea and it definitely was a great controller. It had all the professional outputs. You were able to connect a microphone. You were able to control the pitch of the microphone. The jog wheels were professional, really good jog wheels. And overall, the build quality was excellent. And the only thing wrong with it is it's outdated because of the new style iPads. So if you could find one used for like $100, $50, I would definitely pick it up because it is a great retro iPad DJ controller. Actually hilarious. It's the Ion Scratch 2. It's essentially suction cups that you put on your iPad screen, and it gives you a crossfader and I guess like jog wheels. And it's not electronic, it's just suction cups, so that you could have the feel of a crossfader and have the feel of the jog wheels, and you could use it to scratch. I actually own this one, and I just thought it was hilarious and really funny to use. Obviously it didn't work very well. The suction cups would fall off, or like it wouldn't be connected to the unit very well, but it's definitely a cool gadget to have, and it's really funny that they actually made it, and I wish I still had it. I don't know what I did with it, but if you could find one of these, I would definitely get it and use it as like a gag or show your friends. It's definitely an interesting controller. Is the Pioneer WeGO 4. This was my go-to DJ controller for several years. I made a lot of TikTok videos using this controller. I loved it and hated it at the same time. The good thing was it was so portable, and it worked great with the DJ Pro app. It was built in collaboration with them. It is weird because it's set up different than any other controllers. Usually the buttons are more squared off. This one, it has like a sleek, rounded look. On top of the jog wheels, there's like an arch of buttons, and these are for your loopers and your effects. And then at the bottom, there's another arch section that is your cue, your play, and then you have 4 buttons on each side, so you have 8 buttons that you could use hot cues. You could even use the sampler, or you could use the looper with it. The downsides is it can be a little annoying with the way the buttons are set up if you're used to using more traditional DJ controllers. The tempo sliders are really short, so it's hard to do manual beat matching. So if you're somebody that doesn't use sync and wants to practice manually beat matching, and that's the way you DJ, this controller might not be the best for you, because it's hard to be precise with such a small tempo slider. Also, it only has a 2-band EQ. So at the top is the highs, in the middle is the lows, then on the bottom you have a filter. You could switch this and you could have bass, mids, and highs instead of the filter, but nowadays everybody uses those filters when they DJ. It has main output. There is no auxiliary output, so if you want to plug in like a drum machine or another DJ controller, or do like a battle set, you can't do that with this. The connectivity is very simple. It's just RCAs for a main output and then headphone. You could you could also attach a microphone, and there is a built-in iPad stand, but what's really frustrating is with the new iPad Pro, it only fits in the built-in holder if you take the case off, which kind of defeats the purpose, because I don't want to be at a club or a place where people are partying when I'm DJing and have a fully exposed iPad with no case on it. I can't do that. So I would have to use an external iPad stand. So it was kind of annoying. It would be nice they actually put the slot in it for the iPad if it actually fit an iPad with a case on it. The reason I got rid of this controller was because I started getting into scratching, and I noticed that the jog wheel wasn't responsive. Like, I would go move the jog wheel to scratch, and it wouldn't pick up the movement, and it was just really frustrating. And I'm not sure if it was because I used it for a couple of years and it was broken, or if it's just not a good controller to scratch on. But if you like to scratch and you like the manual beat match, this one isn't for you. This is more of a beginner friendly controller, and it looks really cool. It's a really sleek device. When you're there, if you're at like a small bar or a small party, it's the perfect controller because it's easy to bring with you. It's not like one of those giant 4-channel controllers. So this was definitely a weird DJ controller. I can't wait to see what they do with the WeGO 5. watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you like these type of videos. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a part 2 of weird DJ controllers. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.